outdated, okay? I mean, that, you know, like as far as like the ECUs, it's very outdated technology. And a lot of the ECUs, people will be chasing all kinds of stuff. You know, surging idle and just randomly dying, or hanging idles, you know, when you push the clutch in and the idle hangs. All kinds of different things, which I've personally experienced with, you know, I've owned probably 15, or no, not 15, about 10 or 11 Fox bodies. And a lot of them do that. I mean, a lot of them have the hanging idle, surging idle, random, you know, you get vacuum leaks because there's so much emission stuff all over them that there's tubes everywhere where you can get a vacuum leak, you know? So I don't think it's a stupid thing to put a carb on a car that was originally EFI. It's not that, I don't think it's a big deal, but it's just funny how people get, you know, especially people trying to sell a car. Like if you're trying to sell a car and you put a carburetor on it, that's one of the ones recently I was just reading on. People are killing this guy because he's trying to sell a 93 Mustang that he put a carb on. Oh, you ruined it. Oh, it's making less horsepower now, which is completely false. It's proven that you'll make more power with a car. It's proven. But anyway, I mean, this car is so reliable. I've been driving it, like, I know I haven't shown it, but I've been driving it for the past like 2 weeks everywhere. It's totally fine. Let me take this off of here. Like you can see when I push the clutch in, it goes. This car goes right to idle. You know, it goes right. It never skips a beat. Okay, if you have your carburetor set up right and tuned properly, it can be just as reliable as EFI and just as streetable. I mean, it's like this car gives me no problems whatsoever. I had way more problems with a lot of my EFI cars, a lot of with stock ECUs and, you know, bad capacitors and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of issues, you know. Gas mileage, I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't been driving this long enough to know whether the gas mileage is any good or not, and I'm not going to really worry about it because it's not like I use this to go, you know, too far. I mean, right now I'm going to the golf course and it's probably 15 minutes away. So but yeah, I mean, I haven't really done much. I put some new tires on this thing. I did put I had a set of 95 or 95 SN95 wheels that I put on here because of the ones that I got, you know, those other rims I got, I'll put a picture here. They're just a little bit too dinged up for my liking. There's a little bit of curb rash on them, and I was worried that they wouldn't balance, okay? So these rims I have on here now are like perfectly balanced. It drives really smooth. There's no shaking in the wheel or nothing like that. So, but other than that, you know, I added the tach, got the stereo, everything runs really nice, everything's working. No air conditioning yet, so I'm still working on that, gathering parts for it. But right now the weather's been pretty nice, so it's not that big of a deal. I just drive around with the windows rolled down. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing I may do to this car is change the rear gear. Although I do like that it cruises, like right now I'm doing we're doing like 60, okay, 62 miles an hour, and it cruises around, what's that, 1800 RPM? So like 1800 RPMs. I can tell you this cam that's in this car is not happy around 1800 RPMs. It kind of bucks a little bit. So I think it would be better if I put a bigger gear in it. I have a 373 that I could throw in here just to try that out. Right now it's a 308, so it would probably bump that RPM up to around 2200, cruising at 65, 60. So that wouldn't be too bad. work on the rear seat delete. It's kind of ugly to have that, but got done with my round of golf, and what do you know? And the car started right up. Old unreliable carburetor. But anyway, guys, no, I just kid. I'm kidding around. I just wanted to kind of go over my thoughts on, you know, the whole carburetor fuel injection debate, or whatever you want to call it. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, I mean, to each their own. Whatever you want to do, man, do it to your car. I mean, if you want to put a carburetor on it, put a carburetor on it. If you don't, don't. I just don't get all the people that give carb guys a hard time. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hopefully next week we'll get back to the track and see what happens. I got a few things I got to do to the other car. I got the fuel line in, so we got to do that. But other than that, check you all next time.